They, like virtually everyone in Bhutan, adhere to a national dress code, making it difficult to distinguish between prince and pauper. Bhutan's austere form of Buddhism is also a constant reminder to all about the perils of power.
Power and privilege definitely corrupt the soul.
You would say that for yourself?
Yes, I say that for myself, yes. I have to remind myself continuously.
The country is free of the more familiar kinds of public corruption. No fleets of Mercedes, no racks of Armanis, the hallmarks of third world aristocracies. There's also no democracy, which Kinley Dorji, a Columbia University man and the editor of Bhutan's only paper, says is just fine.
Why do we need to adopt democracy for the sake of democracy? What is important about democracy? And to us, it seems that the values are important, not the facade, not just electoral democracy. We have it all around us in Asia, and how much does it work?
Bhutan's system is like some fairy tale kingdom in which there's an understanding, an unwritten social contract that neither ruler nor ruled will violate. I get the feeling that you don't necessarily think that democracy as we think of democracy is necessarily the best thing for this country.
Well, what is important to the people, basically in a developing country? It's water, safe drinking water. It is good health. It is having a home. It is receiving education.
All of which the government, in its official plan, has reduced to a single phrase.
Gross national happiness is, in fact, what this country is pursuing. It, in fact, is what every human being really pursues in life.
Gross national happiness, to me, is a blend of economic development, of spiritual values, of a rich culture.
Gross national happiness. Any American politician or bureaucrat would be laughed off the platform trying to sell that one. But here it is quite simply the goal and purpose of responsible government. They hope to achieve it, they say, by carefully selecting what the West is doing right, but rejecting our cynicism and our consumerism, even when it comes to television. A case in point, the BBS, the Bhutan Broadcasting Service, created by the government to balance broadcasts that sneak in via satellite. The MTV Beat, Larry King's Chatter, all of the fun of the global fair. It makes the BBS chief Sonam Chong one unhappy programmer when he must compete with the likes of Baywatch.
The example of Baywatch, you see, you need people with perfect bodies and very beautiful people and all kinds of things. So people like that kind of a thing. And when they looked at our productions, they said, look, oh, yours is so rustic.
Rustic or not, for the few thousand Bhutanese with sets, the BBS is appointment television. Only problem is, it's often late for the appointment. So far, Mr. Chong's programming consists of a half hour of news a day, 15 minutes in English, 15 in the native language of Dzongkha. But producers are pitching ideas for an increased schedule.
Most of the producers are interested in the cultural drama kind of serials.
Soap operas, we call them.
Yes, with a Buddhist touch.
Mr. Chong says whatever he broadcasts serves a single purpose.
I think the objective of national television is not to make people buy things which they don't need. Our objective is to make people buy what they need, which is more knowledge, you know.
At the grassroots level, gross national happiness is in the hands of men like Pem Dorji, a regional governor whose domain is made up of small tradition-bound villages. He's considered a revolutionary. Are they sometimes a little bit resistant to change?
Yes, in the beginning, yes.
Such revolutionary luxuries as a brand new stone path, such conveniences as freshly dug latrines, such newfangled ideas as moving animals out of the house.
The steps towards that ultimate goal of gross national happiness is, you can see all around. there is safe drinking water, there is electricity.
Most Bhutanese are subsistence farmers. They grow enough to feed themselves. Unlike nearby neighborhoods in the global village, there is no hunger. And there is universal primary education and health care. In just 20 years, life expectancy here has jumped 40%. These people are deeply religious, but without the fanaticism so common elsewhere. About 1 in 10 of the male population become monks. They practice and preach a brand of Buddhism that respects above all the natural world.
Because of that, man and nature have developed a very close harmony over the years.
I gather it's a crime to chop down a tree, a living tree.
Yes.
Bhutan's biggest cash crop is the cleanest a country can own. Fast-flowing waterways producing hydroelectric power, most of which is exported to India. But Bhutan has turned down lucrative lumbering operations and made millions of acres of its best timberland into a national park. And though it has the world's highest unconquered peaks, it banned mountaineering.
The herdsmen who lived on the base of these mountains, who grazed their yaks on the base of those mountains, immediately petitioned the government, saying that what's going on? These mountains are sacred. And the government considered that and decided very consciously that the sentiments of these people was more important than the profits of tourism.